Hello, family. I want to talk about an issue that is still going on, that's been happening for many, many years in the black community. It's an open secret, but nobody wants to talk about it. I saw a young man earlier talking about it, and I saw the pain in his face when he discussed the things that had happened. Let me tell you, so many children are being abused mentally, physically, emotionally, and sexually by their grandfather, uncle, cousin, brother, family friend, mothers now, aunties. It is an open secret in the black community. How many times have I seen women that have had children that they believe the boyfriend over the child when the boyfriend touched the child? And I'm not talking about it's just not little girls, it's little boys too. That's the reason why you're seeing so much of the effeminate little boys now, because they're being touched. We used to think it was just little girls being touched. No, it's both of them now. And no one wants to talk about it. You've always been told, keep your mouth shut. Let me tell you, the first time it happened to me, it happened to me with an older foster brother. I was in a foster home. And it happens a lot in foster care. I was raised in foster care. And I was molested as a child by an older foster kid. I used to hide underneath my bed, in my closet. I mean, it was so bad that Yahuwah sent me an angel to protect me and hide me every single night until that person left the house. And did I tell? I remember I was like 5 years old. I'm just a little kid. And he was doing all kind of things to me. And I would tell. And that foster mother would slap me in my face and tell me, stop lying on him. You're just a fast little girl. You're probably trying to make him do it to you. Let me tell you, as a 5-year-old, you don't understand what all that means. You just know something's happening to you. This person's not doing nothing. And you try to process it. And Yahuwah had to step in and to protect me. I dealt with it going all the way through my teenage years, being molested by the pastor of the church, even to the point where I was SA'd, ended up getting pregnant and had a miscarriage. I tried to tell. I told my foster parents. They did nothing but believed him. They even sent me to counseling with him, and he continued to molest me in the church to the point where I literally was crying. I was failing grades. I was so skinny. They thought I was mentally crazy. So they put me in a sanitarium for 6 months until I stopped saying what he was doing to me. Yes. And let me tell you what happened to this person. Yahuwah touched him and he had a stroke. He no longer can talk, and his whole side of his body is numb. His kids are all going through a lot of different things. Through addiction, divorces, just a whole catastrophic, a lot of stuff. And the foster parents that didn't protect me, one of them, the mother, she died of dementia. And the father, he died with Parkinson. And I had compassion. I was able to face the man that did that to me, the preacher that did that to me at my foster mom's funeral. Because I even went back. I had left after 30-some years and came back. Just to tell him he didn't break me. And that Yahuwah knows what he's done. And if he doesn't repent, he will be tormented in hell. This is nothing like what he's experiencing now. He will be in a lake of fire. How many children out there have been SA'd, abused? No one said nothing. No one's helped them. Look, I was in a black community, and no one was trying to help me. I was homeless at the age of 15. The foster parents threw me out the house. I dealt with a lot of pain. But these children that has been suffering in silence, you see them now. They're promiscuous. They're showing their bodies. They're twerking. The only thing they know is to be the friends of their mother. There's no fathers in the home. They just all want to be friends and buddies. Let me tell you, every grandfather, every uncle, every brother, every auntie, every person that hurt a child, I pray a curse will be upon you. If you are still doing it, I pray that you are with a curse of a curse. You know, in Matthew 18:3, it talks about any person that hurts these little children and causes them to stumble, it's better to have a millstone wrapped around your head, because you're going to be judged with a quick judgment by Yahuwah. And you don't have to wait to die for that to happen. It's happening to you now. That's why we're seeing so many these people in the black community are poverty, they're poor, they're ailing in their body, sickness, Parkinson's disease, dementia, alcoholics, drug addicts, and some of them are even just unalived. They deserve it. Anyone that hurts a child, an innocent child, and causes them to stumble, you need to be dealt with. And I pray that Yahuwah deals with each and every person. And I pray over these children. I pray over, this is the trauma that the women and men are still dealing with over all these years. And I dealt with it for many, many years. And the only thing that got me through this is Yahuwah. He's the only one that helped me with my trauma. No one else helped me. Nobody wanted to listen. Nobody cared. Because you know what? They're dealing with their own trauma. That's why we're dealing with people that are so complacent. There's no friends. There ain't no families. There ain't no coming together and saying, I understand. Because everybody's so absorbed in themselves, trying to be a baddie, trying to just make it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares because they're not even seeking Yahuwah. And these children are suffering in silence. Trauma. Trauma can cause sickness, pain, heartache, fornication, adultery, promiscuous, trauma. Trauma of the mind, trauma of the thoughts, trauma of the mental anguish, trauma of addiction, just trauma. So if you're not dealing with the trauma and you're going through many things, go to Yahuwah. He will